in less than 30 minutes and sold for as little as $20. The local law enforcement in cities across the country tell me the streets are flooded with machine gun conversion devices. Isn't that right, Captain? Because the parts are small, cheap, and easy to make. The impact of these devices is devastating. Just this weekend, a machine gun conversion device was found at the scene of a mass shooting in Birmingham. I can tell you, over 100 shell casings. 100 shell casings are found, including 4 killed and 18 injured. And the community shattered. Enough. Within 90 days of our task force, will send me a risk assessment and a strategy to address these emerging firearm threats. It's about sending a clear message. Don't worry about the babe. It's okay. Really. Sending a clear message to local law enforcement, the cities across the country. We're to help, and together we can save lives. Look, the second part of this executive order relates to active shooter drills in schools. You know, it's a good thing, but people don't, you all understand, many of you in here, but the psychological impact that has on a child. You know, I'm old enough, we used to have drills for, duck and cover for nuclear devices. But guess what? Now we're talking about kids know what's happening. Yeah. Kamala just talked about the worry of parents and the stress and fear of students have when they're told to participate in active shooter drills. The lack of guidance today on how to prepare students while minimizing the trauma of active shooter drills is unacceptable. So today I'm directing the members of my cabinet to return to me within 110 days with resources and information for schools to improve active shooter drills, minimize its harm, create age-appropriate content, and communicate with parents before and after these drills happen so they know what's going on. Folks, we just have to do better, and we can do better. But that's not all. Today, my administration is also announcing a whole series of new actions to address gun violence. We're releasing a new tool with resources to help schools communicate with parents about safety of storing firearms in their homes. And by the way, I, along with Dianne Feinstein, is the guy that passed the first assault weapons ban. And here's the deal. It was amazing. Amazing how many of those gun violence occurred with those when they were outlawed with these firearms were a consequence of a parent not being responsible with the guns they own. Or in a recent case, I won't get into it because it's under litigation, a parent who provided an assault weapon to a young child. It's been found that when school administrators communicate with parents about safe storage of firearms in their homes, it motivates parents to act. We're awarding $135 million on top of the $238 million we've already awarded last year to 48 states for crisis intervention. Including tools like red flag laws. I'm going to be very personal here. My son was Attorney General is the first state in the nation to institute that statewide. Temporarily removing firearms from those who are a danger to themselves and others.
Yes. Right.
Well, it's important. We're awarding an additional $85 million to 30 community violence intervention programs on top of the $200 million we've already invested in these programs. As you all know, these local intervention programs stop shooting before they happen, utilizing trusted messengers, community members, leaders to work directly with people at risk or the most vulnerable to gun violence. And folks, all these new actions build on the historic steps we've already taken since I took office to address gun violence in America. Through the American Rescue Plan, which, by the way, not a single one of the opposition voted for. I don't say that for political reasons. I say that to make sure people understand it's not costless to do that. To help deliver more than $15 billion the largest investment ever in public safety. Let me say it again. All our opponents voted against the largest funding ever in public safety. I also announced a dozen executive orders to reduce gun violence, more than any of my predecessors. And with your help, we passed the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the most significant gun violence in 30 years. And so many things because we had a first-rate prosecutor who had an incredible experience dealing with these things. Among many things is strengthened background checks for anyone under the age of 21 seeking to purchase a firearm. Since we implemented the background check system last year, we've kept almost 1,000 guns out of the hands of people under the age of 21. But folks, the law also invests over $1 billion, the largest one-time ever investment ever, in seeking to deal with mental health issues in our schools. Help them deal with the grief and trauma of gun violence and other traumatic experiences. We spent a lot of time, didn't we, with those kids? Afraid to go back to school. Not an unusual thing to be concerned about if you've sat there and the kid sitting next to you at your desk gets shot and killed. My former Senate Deputy Chief of Staff is here with me today, Roger Harrison, sitting in the back there. He founded an organization that does outreach programs for middle and high school students dealing with mental health issues. And many others around the country doing similar things. We still have more to do. But the steps we've taken so far in reducing gun violence and saving lives are real. But we have to keep going. There's so much more we have to do. I think it's time to reinstate the assault weapons ban in high-capacity magazines. When I was a senator and I introduced the first effort to ban those weapons, I literally was walking through the swamps of in southern Delaware, down in the area where the swamps and ridges are. There was a guy fishing. And he looked at me and he said, "Biden, what the hell are you going to take my gun for? What are you take my assault weapon?" He was fishing. And I said, "True story." And I said, "You need that?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You must be one hell of a lousy shot." And I don't see a lot of deer running around here wearing Kevlar vests. Why in the hell would not that be the case if you lived a gun case open? I mean it. And I've been fighting for this. I'm going to continue after I leave this office. End immunity for the gun industry. End it, end it, end it. Look, folks, I taught constitutional law for years, constitutional law. Never was the Second Amendment meant to be absolute. Back when it was passed, you could not own a cannon. No, I'm not joking. People like the liberty of Americans is water with the blood of patriots. Like hell. I'm serious. Think about it. Think about it. It was never absolute. Never, 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 never. It's time we increase funding for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Another law enforcement agency to deal with crime and solve crimes faster. We get a lot of heat from the other guy. She gets a lot of heat from the other guy talking about, we're not helping. We're the ones funding cops. We're the ones funding these things. It's time to increase funding to help victims of crime and support community groups helping and hurting people hurting from gun violence. I really mean it. Unfortunately, my predecessor and a lot of congressional other people opposed all these steps to reduce gun violence. Instead, they tried to stop the crackdown on ghost gun kits, by the way. Well, that's a real big deal. I mean, we can't deny the Second Amendment right. Give me a break. If they got their way, criminals could traffic guns and commit crimes. Congressional opponents are trying to defund the Office of Gun Violence Prevention. There's an amendment to fund the Office of Gun Violence Prevention. Bless me, Father, as we say in my church. They attack the FBI and want to abolish the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. By the way, that's written out, which is responsible for fighting gun crimes. Folks, you can't be pro-law enforcement and be anti-FBI and ATF. That's outrageous. Well, that's why we're here today, and why this is so important. We need your help in fighting and standing up to the gun lobby, gun manufacturers, the politicians who oppose common sense gun legislation. Because whether you're a Democrat or Republican or Independent, we all want our families to be safe. We drop families off at the house of worship, or a child at a mall, or a movie theater, or a school. We don't have to worry about whether that's the last time we'll see them. I mean, think about it. Think about it. We all want our kids to have the freedom to learn how to read and write in schools instead of duck and cover. Let me close with this. I know how difficult this work is, particularly for someone who's been through the tragedies and consequences of it. But I also have no illusions about the champions and heroes in this fight, including all of you. I really don't. Look at what you've already done. Look at the movement you've built. Look at the elected officials standing alongside me and here today. Listen to the young people speaking out. That's the power of your loved ones and their memory. And that's the power of the. We just have to keep going and have faith in who we are. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're the United States of America. There is nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I mean that. I swear to God, I know I look like I'm only 40, but I'm 100 years old. Been around a long time. I really mean it. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We're the only nation in the world, as a student of history, I can tell you, that's come out of every crisis stronger than when we went in. And we got to come out stronger now. Now I'm going to sign this executive order. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. What I'm about to sign is combating emerging firearms threats and improving school-based active shooter drills. Never thought I'd have to sign something like this, but we do.
And we thank you.
Thank you. Bravo.
Keep it going, boss. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, please remain in your seats as the President and Vice President departs. Thank you.
All right. By the way, see this guy here? Spent more time.